In our deep sadness about the terrible fire in the Cathedral of Notre de Paris, it's apparent how close the people of Britain and the Commonwealth are to the people of France. We sometimes forget how close our monarchs have been to reigning as kings and queens of France. After all, where did William the Conqueror, King William I, come from? He was also Duke of Normandy, well before France came into existence as a nation. In 1430, Edward III of England claimed the French throne with a not unreasonable claim, and thus in his coat of arms, which you can see on the screen, he included the French fleur-de-lis, a stylized depiction of a lily, alongside the lions rampant, which symbolize England. The result of his claim was the 100 Years' War with France. King Henry V and King Henry VI of England actually also reigned in France, and this continued until 1453, when Charles VII of France effectively expelled the English. Despite this, English and then British monarchs continued to call themselves kings or queens of France until the formation under George III of the United Kingdom. Thereafter, the French fleur-de-lis was removed from the royal arms. But two serious proposals for a Franco-British union have been made, and that within living memory. Now forgotten, they would have meant that Elizabeth II and her father George VI would have also reigned in France. In 1940, as France faced defeat from an advancing German army, the French government contemplated surrender. But to thwart this, a proposal was agreed upon by Churchill and the leaders of France to form a union of the two countries with joint citizenship. The two governments met and agreed on the terms of the union. But at a subsequent French cabinet meeting, the proposal was described by those opposed to it as a British plan to steal France's colonies. Some even said that being a Nazi province was preferable to becoming a British dominion. Field Marshal Philippe Pétain, who was keen to negotiate an armistice with Germany, even called the proposal a fusion with a corpse, the corpse being Britain, whom he expected to be soon defeated by Hitler. The result was that the Prime Minister, Paul Reynaud, the last Prime Minister of the Third Republic, resigned. Imprisoned by the Germans, he subsequently said that the failure of the Franco-British Union was the greatest disappointment of his political career. Meanwhile, Marshal Pétain was granted dictatorial powers. He dissolved the Third Republic, turning France into a fascist state and becoming not president, but chef d'etat, that is, head of state. This was only the second time that this essentially diplomatic term, so beloved by Australian Republicans and misguided monarchists, was used internally in any country. This was because he didn't want to use the Republican term president. Just like Malcolm Turnbull, but that's another story. But this wasn't the last occasion when our monarch might have reigned in France. In September 1956, during the Suez Crisis, the French Prime Minister Guy Mollet, a socialist, proposed a union between the United Kingdom and the French Republic under Queen Elizabeth II and with a common citizenship. As an alternative, Guy Mollet proposed that France join the Commonwealth. But the British Prime Minister, Sir Anthony Eden, rejected both proposals. But you can see just how close our Queen came to reigning in France, and how sad we all are over the tragedy in Paris. Until next time, I'm David Flint from ACM.